Hey everyone! Before we get started, today's episode is a little different. Outdoor educator and backpacker Kerry from Jet Girl Hikes joined me for what turned into an incredible conversation. We chatted about snake safety, solo hiking, women's self-defense, backpacking, Kilimanjaro, trail leadership, and the lessons we've learned in the great outdoors. And honestly, the snake discussion was so good that we just hit the record button and went with it. So let's jump in.
So if you or your pet gets bit by a snake and it's a venomous one, there's a Facebook group called National Snake Bite Support. And you would be amazed how many people go to the hospital and the hospital does the wrong thing.
Oh, really?
And you can actually get a chance as you follow along on that group to learn what to do, what not to do, what the kind of things can go wrong at the hospital. Because everybody always says, don't elevate it, but keep it elevated above your heart. It has to stay, or some people say, don't have it go above your heart because then it'll get your whole body. The problem is they want you to actually have your legs straight, like no bend at the knee, your legs straight and elevated because it lets all that venom start to come down into your body so your body can do its job and clean it out of the blood. If you leave it sitting down at the extremity, it continues to cause necrosis. So if you have sorry?
I said, hold it up.
Yep. Yeah, they don't want you to bend the knee because that can stop the really good flow of venom going into your body so your body can clean it out.
I heard this about snake bites, that you don't necessarily have to track down the snake that bit you because the anti-venom is the one venom for them all. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, it is. It's for the majority of pit vipers. The only one that's different is coral snake.
Oh,
and
okay.
Where the pit vipers have more of a necrotic type of venom.
Okay.
The coral snake has a venom that is a neurotoxin.
Okay.
So it affects your brain and breathing and nervous system and stuff like that, even heart. But also, luckily, coral snakes are the least likely to bite.
Are they? Why do you say that?
They tend to just run.
Oh, okay.
The other way. And where other ones are like very quick to bite, they're the least likely to. They're not super quick to bite. They prioritize running away over biting.
Interesting.
Now, if you grab a hold of one, you're getting bit.
Don't be picking up no snake. I remember I was on one hike. And this lady was carrying one of those snake hooks. And so she was like a self-proclaimed snake wrangler. And so it was fun. She picked up there was a hognose snake. And
I love them. Little drama noodles.
Yes, they're adorable. And anyway, so she picked him up and showed him around to everybody, and it was fun.
Play dead?
Did not play dead.
Ah, bummer.
I do not think he played dead.
Oh yeah, they'll play dead. They roll over and they'll have their mouth open, tongue lolling out and everything. And they even have a vein in the back of their mouth. They'll rupture, so they even have blood trickling out of the mouth.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So
they're freaking
funny.
Hilarious. And once they roll over and play dead, if you pick them up and turn them upright again, they immediately roll back over. It's, no, I'm dead. You turn them over, like, nope, I'm dead. Roll over, nope, I'm dead. They're so funny. And they'll also rattle their tail like a rattlesnake would, and they make a sound from their mouth that sounds like a rattlesnake. And they can also flare the sides of their heads so they look like a cobra.
That is so funny. It's just the poor little guy's just trying to protect himself.
I know. Hence his name, Drama Noodle.
Drama Noodle. That's so funny.
They're very dramatic.
So it sounds like you've spent a lot of time researching snakes and getting to know them.
When I started leading group hikes, I decided I need to know the proper way to care for a snake bite. Because, I mean, what are the ones that are most likely to happen on a hike that we deal with? They're going to be falls, sprains, stomach ailments, burns, and snake bites.
Yeah, heat exhaustion.
Heat exhaustion, yes.
Yeah.
So you were asking about if they have any kind of are you still supposed to try and get the snake or track it down? If you can get a picture of it, that's all they need.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you show up, you're like, oh, a copperhead bit me, and then
Yeah,
they're
people
like,
don't know what a
oh,
copperhead
okay,
looks like.
okay. Before
Yeah.
we put antivenom in, because otherwise they need to kind of watch what the wound is doing, how the swelling is happening, and then they go, okay, yeah, that was an envenomation. But if you can have a picture, I don't know what kind of snake it is, but it was a copperhead, and they'll be like, okay, and then you show it to them, like, yeah, here it is, like, no, that's a milk snake. Oh, yeah, it's not venomous. You can go home. Okay, wash it with soap and water.
Nice. Keep it clean. Yes. Yeah, that's a misidentification, right? So a photograph is a great idea.
Yep.
Very cool.
So there's also several different North Texas or Texas snake bite or snake groups, snake identification groups on Facebook, and people will post a snake. What kind of snake is this? You're like, oh, and you start guessing, and then you look at it, you look in the comments, dang, I was wrong. Or you're like, yay, that's right. So that way you can start to get good at snake identification, because they'll go over, this is what kind of snake it is, and these are the things to look for to know the difference.
Nice. Very cool. I have a hard time with properly identifying, what is that one? The cottonmouth. Because
Cottonmouth, yeah.
I tend to get it mixed up with another, I forget which one it is, but I tend to get it mixed up a little bit because it's dark, but it still has a pattern on it. And I need to learn my snake. So I just stay away from all of them. So I figure I'm okay. But
So do you know what a copperhead looks like?
yes, the Hershey
Okay.
Kisses.
Exactly. So a cottonmouth has the same similar Hershey Kisses pattern on it, except the edges are very pixelated. And in his eye, he's going to have a little mask, a little stripe. It almost looks like he's wearing a little Zorro mask.
Really?
And
Okay.
they tend to hold their head up at a 30-degree angle, which is very common. And then also their body is very fat. And then as it gets to the tail, it quickly goes down to the tail. You were saying one that you get it mixed up with a lot. I'm wondering if it's plain belly water snake.
I think yep. I think that's the
So
one. Yeah.
at the edges of the mouth on the water snakes, on the common water snake, plain belly water snake, and yellow belly water snake, they all have these vertical bars. They're called labial bars. They have them along their mouth. So in the United States, if you see a snake that has those vertical bars, it's not a venomous snake.
I was just talking to my husband this morning. We were out on the disc golf course, and I told him, I said, I kept on looking for a snake. And it's because I haven't seen a snake this year yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you know what? And in the snake's defense, my vision is poor. So I'm sure they're there. I'm just not seeing them.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
they're
the
there.
copperheads, they love to hide in dead leaves.
Yeah, and that's where my disc goes. If you're familiar with disc golf,
Yep.
that I end up in the rough all the time. So it's okay, where's the snake? I don't see it.
Yeah, on one of those group ID pages, all the times they'll have people put up on there, they'll say, is this a copperhead? And it's just a picture of a bunch of leaves, and they camouflage so well in
They
those dead leaves.
do.
You're sitting
Yeah.
there, you're looking and looking and looking, and you're like, I can't find it. And someone will be like, yes, that's a copperhead. And I'm like, I still don't see it.
It's like, where's the snake?
Usually someone in the comments will repost the picture with it circled, and you're like,
Circled.
oh, okay, I see it. So I keep saying that one of these April Fool's days, I'm going to put just a picture of some dead leaves and say, is this a copperhead?
That's a
I'll
good
probably get
idea.
kicked out of the group.
It's
Yes.
a lot of fun learning about the different critters.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I love it. We're outdoors people. We go out there for this reason.
exactly.
Be into a different environment, and even understanding that environment around us makes it so much more fun.
Absolutely. I agree. I took many years ago, because we are not from the area, many years ago, I took the Texas Master Naturalist course and did their certification program. And it was just so interesting learning about the different flora, the different fauna, the different ecosystems. And it just really made me more environmentally aware of the whole area.
I
So,
wish I was better with plants.
oh yeah. Like foraging kind of plants or
No, just
just plants in
identifying
general?
them.
Yeah.
Just identifying them.
Yeah. I use an app. I know some of them. I don't know all of them, of course, but I know some. I'm familiar with some of the more common ones. I really like the redbud trees because the little
Aren't they
flowers in the
beautiful?
springtime, they taste like broccoli.
Oh, I didn't know you could eat them.
You can eat them. Yeah, they taste like broccoli, so they're fun. Yep.
Oh, I don't like broccoli. I'll still have to
You'll
try
like
some
the
though.
red buds. You'll like the red buds. They're good.
Okay. Wow,
Yeah.
I did not realize you could eat them.
They are edible. I wouldn't eat them if they were like in the middle of somebody's yard that's sprayed with pesticides and
Yeah.
lawn stuff all the time, but out in the woods, I'm sure they're fine. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're
Oh,
doing this podcast today. You asked to ask me some questions. After Kerry and I spent a few minutes talking about snakes, Kerry officially took over the microphone and turned the tables on me. Here we go.
hey everyone, welcome to the Just Hyke Podcast. You'll recognize that I am not Melanie. That's because today I am hijacking her podcast. And what we're doing is we're going to put her on the other side of the microphone so I can get a chance to interview her and you guys can learn a whole lot more about Melanie, the person. So, Melanie, welcome to your podcast.
Thank you, Kerry. I appreciate you doing this.
This is going to be fun.
It will be fun. We're already having fun. We were talking about
Yes.
snakes and frogs and
Yeah.
all sorts of
Yeah.
fun
Before
things.
we even got started on the intro, we started talking about snakes and plants and which ones taste like broccoli. So earlier this year, a friend and I were hiking the Lone Star Trail, and you and your husband Dan, they came out and you met us at a campsite where we were camping that night, and you brought us pizza, you brought us firewood, and got the fire going for us.
I'm really glad that we were able to work that into our schedule and do that for you.
Yeah, me too. And the thing that I love most about it is I got a chance to actually talk to you, meet you, and just not a podcast or on a Facebook kind of stuff, but to actually just sit there and talk to you. And what really struck me is what an incredible person you are.
Aw,
Everything you do is for helping other people. You're an author, and your books are designed for helping other people get out on the trail. And you're an innovator, and your products are meant to help people while they're on the trail, even to dig a poop hole better. And I had the idea, because we have great ideas while we're hiking,
yes, we do.
to invite you onto your own podcast so your audience can get a chance to learn how incredible you are.
Aw, thanks. I think this is a fun idea and I'm happy to support your initiative.
What inspired you to start this podcast, since we're talking about the podcast?
That's such a great question. So, the podcast is just another avenue to help people feel more comfortable and to realize other people have the same dreams, the same hopes, the same aspirations to get out on the trails and explore nature, especially at any age. Some of the ladies that I've been interviewing, it's been so interesting. Like Patty, for example, she's what, 87 years old and she's going back to Nepal, right, to go on the Annapurna track
Oh,
and go
wow.
visit schools out there because she's helping
Yeah,
rebuild schools, right? So
that's so amazing.
these humanitarian efforts. And there's Beth Ann Abel. It took her 20 years to finish the Appalachian Trail because she had to do it in between her work life, right? So every 2 weeks for 20 years, or 2 weeks every year for 20 years, she did a different section of the trail. Just learning about these different people who are out in the world accomplishing their dreams. And I just wanted to share those dreams with other people so that they could be moved and inspired to maybe do the dreams that they want to do.
And then how possible it is when you put your mind to it.
Exactly. Yeah,
And stuff like that. The thing that strikes me about what you're saying about hiking the Appalachian Trail over a period of 20 years, that's a labor of love.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's something that she wanted to do and she made it happen however she could.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
So I guess so that would be basically what you like most about about this podcast, is learning about other people.
Learning about other people and then sharing what I've learned with other people.
Okay.
I suppose mostly I just like to share what I've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how she was much older. What do you think is so powerful about hiking, especially as we get older?
It's really One is the restorative benefits of being outdoors in nature, right? Seeing the vistas, smelling the trees, learning about the natural world, however you want to learn about the natural world. If you want to get into the snakes and the frogs, you can, but if you want to get into the trees, you could do that. It's so diverse. And you kind of caught me. I've been working on my book all day today. It's my newest one is called Sidewalk to Stillness, which is about the restorative benefits of being outside in
Okay.
nature. And so there's the restorative side of it, like the mental health benefits of just being outside in nature, not necessarily doing hard things like a distance hike or a mountain
Mhm.
summit, but just spending time around trees and flowers and seeing the patterns and being enveloped by those, the properties that the trees have. But then there's also the other side of it where there's the physical parts of it of accomplishing something maybe challenging or big, whatever challenging and big is to you. You know, for some
Mhm.
people, it might be walking half a mile to a waterfall. And for other people, it might be summiting a mountain or finishing the Ouachita Trail, whatever their goal is, what nature and hiking can do for people. What do you think? What do you think the benefits of hiking is, especially for women?
So much of society, not so much these days anymore, but still a lot of society says that's not the kind of thing women can do, especially out there alone without any man to protect them. And just, it's getting a lot better, but it's still out there these days.
It
So
is. Oh, for sure.
when you
You know,
when you when you close your car door and you double check that it's locked and you throw that pack on and walk away from your car for days with everything you need on your back, do that. There's nothing else that says self-sufficiency like that. Once you get out there and you realize that you can live for weeks out of just what's in your backpack, it makes you kind of look at everything else in your life around you and just, that's not hard. I could come up with a way to do that. Oh, that's way easier to do a different way because we start to learn just how to problem solve with what we have.
yes,
And also just not to mention, like you said, the confidence booster. So
absolutely.
good.
Yeah, and I love what you said about being self-sufficient, right? Being out there on the trail and problem solving because you don't, and you realize you don't need a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
You don't need all that stuff. And when you have more stuff, it just seems to make things more complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So now we're talking about stuff in your pack. So
Hmm.
another thing that I love about you that we didn't cover in all the things that I love about you is in addition to having the podcast and writing the books and doing the putting out the information to help people, especially women, get out there and not be scared, is you also physically get out there on the trail and you take them out hiking and you take them out backpacking. So when we're talking about gear and what we have in our packs, is there anything different that you carry? What kind of stuff do you put in your pack for just a hike you're doing? A hike that you're doing solo versus a hike where you're taking a whole group of people out?
Ah, good question. So there is one different. So when I go solo, and that would be like even if I'm going with maybe one other female, I still consider that kind of solo. There's just a different level of awareness that I have around me. And so I don't carry a gun, right? But I
Mhm.
will carry a pepper spray, which isn't really my favorite, but I'll use it on a dog or something if I have to.
Yeah, it's
But
better than a stick.
better than in combination with the stick. I have my hiking stick
Yeah.
and I'll fold that in half and I'll use that as a kind of a baton also. So
Oh,
I guess,
smart.
pardon me?
I said smart. I never thought about that.
Yeah, just take it, fold it in half or whatever your hiking stick folds into, and then you can use it as a pretty good baton as a weapon. I used to do, so I'm a second degree black belt in Taekwondo and
Are you really?
just kind and so thinking about different ways for self-protection, right? And then I also have a stun gun or like a taser, and so I have
Mhm.
that. And sometimes just the noise will scare an animal away, so I keep that close to me at night because I have this irrational fear that a critter is going to come into my tent. I don't know. And It's just a thing that I have. And so I keep my stun gun close to me and I keep my hiking stick close to me. And so I just feel like I need more protection if my spouse isn't around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a friend, she had her husband say, "Hey, what are you doing? Who's out there?" And she recorded it on her phone.
Oh, that's a
So
smart
that if she hears
idea.
someone creeping around, she can play it and have a male voice.
A male voice. Nice. And
So
I've
like,
heard
"Hey, who's
people,
out there?"
yeah. And I've heard people talk about like at a campsite, if you're camping alone, to have a like a male pair of boots and have them at your
Mm.
door. That doesn't really work when you're backpacking because I'm not carrying somebody's extra boots.
Yeah. And
That's
also,
right.
you've seen my setup when you were bringing us pizza. I have a camouflage tarp,
Oh yeah. Oh, so
and
you
that's
blend in.
why.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not so I blend in, it's so it looks more masculine.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Not a pink one
Yeah.
with flowers?
Yeah, no, you won't see me have anything pink out there because I don't want to go advertising that I'm a female and I'm here alone.
Yeah.
So that's why I do the camouflage tarp.
Yeah. Yeah. That's smart.
Yeah.
So, did you see on one of the Appalachian or one of the hiking page Facebook pages, they were talking about there was a man on the Appalachian Trail. He was cutting a hole in a tent. He was a sex offender, and he would cut a hole in their tent and go in. And so he was recently caught and
Oh, good.
arrested. Yeah. So there was, yeah. So there are issues, right?
Will they
And,
have a public flogging of him?
that would be fantastic. Yes,
Yes.
I would
Yes.
join you. Absolutely.
And you're a very experienced backpacker.
Thank you.
And I'm also an experienced backpacker, but we all have these fears when we go out there. It's not once you get a certain level of experience, you start to say, "Oh, I'm not scared of anything anymore," because you're so experienced that even us have our own fears. And
Absolutely.
my worst fear
Uh-huh.
is waking up to somebody standing outside my hammock, like
Oh,
some guy
interesting.
just looking in or cutting the netting on my hammock open
Wow,
or
interesting.
cutting the
Yeah,
bottom open so I fall out. Or
yeah.
it was even before I was hammocking when I was in a tent to just wake up to the sound of somebody walking around trying to get into my tent.
So these
And
are,
it's not an irrational fear either.
it's not irrational. No, because, and statistically, right? Well, my husband was surprised about the statistic because he was talking about what are like, why is this a thing? Why are women talking about hiking alone or being solo hiking? And like, why is this a thing? And it's statistically like one in, what is it, 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 women have been sexually assaulted in their life. And it's actually really interesting because I was telling him those stats. And then he was starting to calculate in his head, and it's okay. When we went to such and such, like when we went to the San Juan huts, there was Dan and 7 women on this
Mm.
thing. And he said, okay, so 1 in 5. So what you're telling me, there were 7 there. And it's like, yes, yes. And it started
Yeah,
to click. And a lot of people, I think maybe men don't realize these statistics that are out there and the things that we're aware of as women, that these are not irrational fears, that
no, they're
they're
not.
very real fears. And based on past experiences through 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 of us, right?
Mm.
And so we need to take measures to protect ourselves and not just be naive and think this is never going to happen to me, but just have a plan, right? So being aware, number one, being aware, number two, having a plan.
Yeah,
And number three, how are you going to execute that plan? So, what is that plan and how are you going to follow through on it? So, I know you carry a gun. I don't carry
I
a
do.
gun, but my plan is knees and elbows and head bunts and fight to the death and my stun guns, and it's not going to be a happy scene.
Yeah, especially if they come across you because you're a black belt.
Yes. Yeah. And that, so what that means, really, what that means is that I'm aware enough to know that I'm not going to win probably against a big guy, right? But it could be one hit to the side of the head and I'm out.
Yeah,
So my awareness is that I need to use other things to my advantage, having the stun gun, having the pepper spray, having a camp set up, and just avoiding a situation when you feel uncomfortable. I think that's the biggest thing. is
Yeah.
using that gut of yours and that intuition. And
Yeah. I think another important thing to add in also is that I see so many people when they camp, they sleep with earplugs in
oh yeah,
so they don't hear the wildlife. And I'm like, well,
but
how do you know if something dangerous is around you?
yeah,
But okay, so as a black belt,
yes.
what is one thing that you can tell women the first thing to do fighting someone off wise if they find themselves on the trail in a dangerous situation with a large man?
Create distance.
Okay.
You
If
got
they're
to
not
create
able to
distance.
and he's chasing them, now we're at physical contact.
Kiss your ass goodbye. No.
Oh, come on. What's a good self-defense thing that you would
Oh
say would be a
gosh.
great thing for a hiker to do? You've already brought up about folding your poles in half and beating the crap out of them with them.
Yeah. And then, so if you do strike, so you're face to face, gosh, some of the things that you pee your pants, throw up on them, make yourself undesirable, right?
Okay.
Fight like crazy. Don't go to a second location, right? Kind of create space and get away as
Keep
best
moving.
as you can. Keep moving. Yell, yell, scream, attract
Mm.
attention. If you have a whistle or one of those alarms, one of those like a she-birdie, I think one of them is called. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah, I
sure
know
if
what you're
that's a
talking about, those little personal alarms.
yeah, those little personal alarms, anything to create noise that will
Okay.
attract attention because you're going to need if you're face to face with a big guy, you need backup. You need support and you need to create space.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my first instinct would be try and knee him in the balls, throat punch,
And then take off.
then bolt, get the
Yeah.
heck out.
Create space.
And
Yeah.
if I can, if I can't take my stuff with me, at least grab my inReach
Yeah. Yeah.
if I'm able to. And that's like another thing to bring up. Like if other women watching this podcast are starting to think, oh shoot, I don't really have a plan. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, write your question in a comment.
Oh,
So
that's a great
Melanie can
idea.
get back to you and let
Yeah.
you, what if this happens? What if that happens? Put those in the comment, you guys, because that's going to be an opportunity for Melanie to just actually get with you and talk to you about what to do.
And so I interviewed, her name is Tisha Butler. She's on the podcast list if you go in and look at all the different episodes. Tisha is a black belt and a Krav Maga instructor, and we chatted about different self-defense scenarios and different things to do to help protect
Oh,
yourself on the trail. And then
I
we
missed
also
that one. I
did,
want to watch it.
yeah, and then we also did an in-person seminar together here in the Houston area, and that was a lot of
Okay.
fun to do. Yeah, we'll have to do another one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. I need to catch up. Somehow I missed that one.
Yeah.
So, but see now, what else do I have on my things? So, have you ever been getting ready to go on a really big trip like Kilimanjaro or one of those that have you ever felt like you're like doubted yourself that you can do it?
I always have self-doubt.
What do you do about it?
My self-doubt is through the roof.
So, what do you do about it to walk out that door and put your feet on that trail?
I write a poem. Yeah, no.
You write a poem?
I write a poem. Journal, self-reflection. What am I? So what am I freaking out about? Why am I feeling the way that I am? Actually, in a couple of weeks, I'm taking a group of high school students to the
Oh, you're
Desolation
brave.
Wilderness area. Yeah. And I'm going with a group. It's called the Woods Project. They're here in the Houston area, and they've been a nonprofit doing their thing for 20 years.
Oh,
And this
wow.
is their 20th year. And what they do is they take a group of underprivileged high school age students, so for like ninth grade to going into 12th grade, right? And so underprivileged in the sense of the families don't necessarily have the money or the means to take them on even out of the city or riding on an airplane or to experience any of really any activities. And so all the students come from recommendations from high school counselors or the teachers or the principals, and they can't be any behavior type students. They need to be good students who are like like decent kids, right? The only issue is that they just don't have financial means. And anyway, so we give them backpacks, we give them hiking boots, they give them the tents, the food, the airfare, the whole thing to do a 2-week wilderness experience. And it's a very cool program to get involved with. Highly recommend you look into it
It's
because I
such a
think you
cool
might,
idea. I
yeah,
didn't even know such a thing existed.
yeah,
Yeah,
really
I love
cool.
helping out beginners. That's one of my jams.
I know you love doing that. And
You
so,
know, falling off of it though, very extra when you have a big group.
extra when I have a big group. It would be first aid kit would be the biggest thing. Some sort of way to communicate always. We had on one of our hikes with the Lone Star Hiking Trail, it's happened a couple of times now, where we've had medical emergencies, not 911 medical
Okay.
emergencies, but one was, what could have been a 911. One was heat related. One of the members had to stop and we had to figure out how to get to him and get him off the trail. And then another, we had to get a vehicle closer and have an out point, right? So being aware of where your out points are is important when you're taking a group, because if you have to bail, knowing where you have to bail. Definitely, I think with a group, I do more maps, like a paper
Okay.
map, in addition to just knowing the trail, right? Because
Mhm.
quite often this is my home trail, so it's no problem. But having that paper map so that you can share some of the navigation and teach some of the navigation stuff. I really like to teach when I'm on the trails with a group. I like
Yeah.
to talk about different trail markers and just awareness on the trail and of course safety, right?
What's your
Yeah.
worst fear with a group?
Injury. Yeah. Someone getting injured and then I have to deal with it.
Yeah. Mine's heart attack
What? Oh no. For you or for a member?
for a member.
Yeah.
Because you, if someone has a heart attack out on the trail, the odds of them living is very slim
Oh, for sure. For sure. Because
because you can't do, because good CPR is exhausting.
absolutely. And you got to keep
So
on
I did
going.
the wilderness first aid course, which is a
Uh-huh.
great course if people haven't done it.
Yeah.
Did that course, and the guy was talking about when he was a firefighter, they have one of those CPR dummies, and they'd have contests because it actually hooked up to a little graph thing to
Yep.
show when you're in the range that you're actually keeping someone alive, you're doing it right, the correct rhythm, the correct depth on each push and everything. And the biggest, strongest guy there who was the best, it was able to maintain CPR that within that range of life saving was 6 minutes.
Wow. Yeah. And thank goodness if you're with a group, you can trade off, right? Yeah.
But if you're out there in the wilderness and it's hours until they get to you, the odds of being able to do CPR for hours. And
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the things, I know you've had that course, one of the things I teach is if someone's having a legit CPR heart attack out there, just accept, do everything you can, but understand that the odds of them living through it is very minimal.
Absolutely. Yep. That's right. Yeah. Early advanced support is
Mhm.
critical for a heart attack. And if that happens out in the wilderness, yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to be in
We,
good shape. Make sure you're in good
yeah,
health.
I was doing that Womble video, and I don't know if you saw the video at all, but I mentioned that we had lost a hiker. We were down one hiker because of my worst fear, a heart problem.
Oh no.
So we are all taking a break, and she was kind of sitting there, and she's like, I guess I better tell you guys something. I've been having these weird fluttery feelings in my chest and getting really dizzy. And
During the hike?
during the hike, we were
Oh,
out there, and I was like, and I'm sitting here, I locked up. I know what to do. But like you said, the early intervention is most important. I know what to do, but my brain just totally locked up. I was like, oh my gosh, my worst fear is happening. I have a person in my group who's might be having a heart attack here. And it was terrifying. And my brain totally locked up. And there was another lady with us, and she used to be a CNA, a certified nursing assistant. And she was quick. She's like, hey, I have some aspirin. You want some aspirin? And she's, no, that's okay. And all of us are like, take the aspirin. And she's, okay, I'll take the aspirin. So we sat there a little bit, started doing better. And so she was taking care of, she's man, her pulse is really weak. And then, so another group of us were looking at roads and everything. And we had a tiny bit of cell service. So we were like messaging people. It was near the Washita Trail. So where I do trail maintenance at. So our district captain for the section 6, I was messaging with him, hey, we're having a problem, and getting with Lori, who's the shuttle driver. She's like the trail mom. And finally coordinated, okay, she can get someone here to this road to pick us up. And I remember from that course, I'm like, the best thing you can do to save someone's life is get them out of there.
Yep.
So I asked her, I was like, are you okay to walk? And she said, yeah, I think I'd be okay to walk. So we're like, okay, let us take your pack for you. No, that's okay. We're like, at least let us take your water, which is heavier. So
Yeah.
she's like, okay. So we started carrying her water, and we just hiked nice and slow out of there and got her to the road. And then her husband was in a separate area backpacking because we were like a little women's group. And he happened to be like 2 miles from us coming towards us. So just about the time the truck came driving down the road to pick her up, her husband came hiking out from the other side of the road. It just all worked out perfect. And then
Nice.
in the long run, I believe she ended up with a pacemaker.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. So getting that
That was scary.
medical information beforehand is really important, making sure that you feel like you're fit enough to be able
Mhm.
to do the thing, right?
Yeah.
Such
She had just a couple years before did, I think, 1,100 miles of the AT.
wow.
So she's fit,
She's fit,
but
but she was having some issues. Yeah, yeah.
yep. And she knew she was having some issues, and they had her wear a Holter monitor for a month, I think, and it didn't catch anything.
Wow.
But they ended up getting her to the hospital and eventually figured it out.
Wow. Yeah, that's
But
scary.
yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay, let's
just
do a question. That's why I go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. Just being aware of being hyper vigilant when you're the group leader. And that's why I started with doing hikes primarily with the Lone Star Hiking Trail Club, and just to have that trail support, right? So they plan it, they organize it. There's lots of people that I can contact if there is an issue. There's another hike leader with the group. And so just having that level of support makes me feel more comfortable rather than me taking somebody out on my own. And even when I do different, like the international trips, let's say to Kilimanjaro, the I have, a local guide who is in charge there. You know the stuff, you're trained, you know what to do, you have the contacts. If something goes wrong, you know how to handle that. You have the capability to handle that situation. I can observe and I can assist, but they have the contacts, right? And then
Yeah.
same with the Lone Star Hiking Trail Club. I have that umbrella of support.
When you were talking about doing Kilimanjaro
Mhm.
and with the guides and everything, was there anything that because you've done Kilimanjaro more than once, right?
Yeah, 3 times,
Okay.
and going a fourth in October.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If you want to
You're glutton
come.
for punishment, aren't you? Oh man, I wish. So when you do these hikes, is there anything monumental that you learn about yourself or that you take away from that hike?
That you can grit and perseverance, right? And just working through that self-doubt and that, am I doing this again? Why am I out here again? What am I doing? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trying to motivate and inspire.
Yeah.
Not only myself, but other people too. Yes. We can do hard things. It's just one foot in front of the other. And just being, I think, just going just with the journey, right? Just
Yeah.
enjoying. And it's not just about summit, and it's not just about reaching the destination. It's more about enjoying each step along the way. And this is part of the journey, no matter how it turns out. Whether if you're dealing with someone who's having some, let's hopefully call it minor heart issues, because I
Mhm.
don't want to wish
Yeah.
that upon anybody. Uh,
Yeah.
but dealing with some lightheadedness or some aches and pains or foot pain or whatever it is, just that's part of the journey. no matter what it is, that's part of the journey, and just learning to enjoying what presents itself as we go one step in front of the other.
So do you find that kind of helps you in everyday life also to look at things differently?
Absolutely, because everyday life is part of the journey too. Not everything goes to plan, and sometimes roadblocks are put in our way, and they might be put in our way for a reason. I'm a strong believer that if I have to turn around and go back to the house for something, I believe that's prevented something down the road, or it changed my path for whatever reason, and everything happens for a reason.
I want to know about the secret hike that you were talking about on Trailblazing Texas's podcast.
So Niederhorfer. It's Niederhorfer.
Yeah, that's
Have
it.
you been to Niederhorfer?
No, I had never
No?
even heard of it until that podcast. And I'm like, I'm going to
Oh.
be talking to her and I'm going to hold her down and be like, you need to take me there. I want to see what it is.
Oh, Niederhorfer Lake is so pretty. So when you're hiking along the Lone Star Hiking Trail, if you recall head number 8, which is Four Notch, there's a side trail. It takes you to this really beautiful lake in the forest. It's spring fed.
My next question on this, when did we go?
Probably in the fall. It has to be
Yeah.
outside of hunting season. So either before November 1st or after January 30th.
Okay.
Because on the Lone Star in the Sam Houston National Forest, we have to camp at designated sites during hunting
Yeah.
season.
Okay. Let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
So about trail nutrition.
Ah,
Because when I was on your episode 1, we kind of hit a little bit on trail nutrition, but we didn't really do a deep dive into it. And you're a very healthy eater.
I try
And
to
I
be. Yeah.
remember you telling me that you've lost 80 pounds or something.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So you're very in tune with eating and we talked a little bit about how I deal with appetite issues. I lose my appetite when I'm doing this kind of endurance hiking, but you do not. But we didn't really get a chance to talk about what you eat while you're on the trail.
Gotcha. I love peanut butter. Peanut butter is one of my go-to. So I'll do wraps, or I really like wraps actually because they pack up so easily. So I'll do that. There's carb balance wraps.
Yeah, I know the ones.
Yeah, so I'll do that with some peanut butter, maybe some sugar-free jelly, and Nutella is really good too. So I really like that. I do take protein powders with me, and oatmeal is a big deal for me. It's my go-to thing that I do, especially in the mornings, oatmeal or with peanut butter. I'll put protein powder in it and make just this protein powder oatmeal sludge. For lack of a better word. It might not look appetizing, but it tastes yummy to me. And then I'll put some nuts and seeds in it, and then I feel pretty satisfied with that. In the evenings, I really love to end the day with it's like a protein pudding. So I'll just take a sugar-free protein mix or sugar-free Jello pudding mix, whatever flavor. It could be chocolate, vanilla, cheesecake, whatever your favorite flavor is. And then I'll mix that with protein powder. So I'm getting the extra protein, but then I get the yumminess and the sweetness of the pudding mix. So that's one of my favorites too. And then I add a couple of cookies to it just for fun, or granola.
Sounds like out of the 3 macros being protein, carbs, and fats, protein is your priority.
Protein is my priority for sure, and fats, yeah. Carbs, I'm gonna get the carbs probably no matter what, just because just about everything has carbs, especially the oatmeal. So the oatmeal is high in carbs. So I'll
Yep.
definitely get that. Electrolytes are really important for me, especially halfway through the day, and I love my caffeine in the mornings too.
Yes, got to have the caffeine. So you're making some electrolytes now that you're selling under the Just.
I used to, but my supplier ran into supply issues, and so
Oh,
I don't have the hydration mix anymore.
oh, bummer.
Yeah.
So of all the different hydration mixes that are out there, which one do you recommend the most?
I like Element,
That's
and
mine too.
yeah, is it?
Yeah, it
And
looks like I'm all fancy podcast host drinking my coffee. I literally have water with element in it.
do you?
It's
Nice.
it's the
Yeah.
lemonade one and it's delicious.
Oh,
But I
cool.
look like I'm like all like, right? With my coffee cup.
what does it looks like Sharpie on your cup, but I know it's part of your
Oh,
cup. What does it say? Shh,
it's a
not
coffee
yet.
cup that says,
Uh,
then not yet, then you may speak now,
Yeah, nice. I
by the
like it.
level of the coffee that's inside.
Yes, very good. And then I
Learn to
also
take
like the
element, and
and the
I got element
noon.
and a gnat in here.
That's life in the outdoors. We'll just call it
Got
extra
it.
protein. And then the other one, I like the noon tablets, the
Okay.
NUUN. And I've just been like, I'll break a quarter or a half of it off and I'll just pop that in my mouth and let it dissolve.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And I try to
I
do
never
so,
thought about doing that.
yeah,
And that'd be an easier way so you don't have one bottle that's got that, that flavor in it. So then you end up with lemonade flavored beans in the evenings.
exactly. And then when I, the way I prefer to take my hydration mixes or my electrolytes is to do very small quantity, do the whole packet. Let's say, for example, the entire packet of the element, especially if I feel like I'm dragging or I'm feeling like I'm exhausted. Then I'll do maybe just a couple of ounces and I'll put the entire packet in there and swish it around and down it back. And then it just serves as a pick me up. It delivers it to your cells faster rather than diluting it and just sipping on it all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a time when I was on Trail Between the Lakes
Uh-huh.
and I had got overheated, and I figured that I think part of it was because I was trying to conserve my water, because a lot of the water sources there, similar to the Lone Star Hiking Trail,
Yeah.
are not great. They're fine if you're in a pinch, but it's not suggested. So I was trying to conserve water between my cache locations.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so when I finally got to my water cache, I filled almost an entire smart water bottle. And I dumped that stuff in there and I just chugged it down, and my stomach hurt so bad later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a much smarter way to do it, to
Yeah.
get the whole
Do a
packet
small.
without,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
still
Less.
tastes strong, but
Yeah.
you
But
got it all.
it'll deliver it to your cells faster. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your suggestion? So I know, because we discussed how I lose my appetite, and it's actually a pretty common problem, especially when people are at altitude.
Yeah. Altitude
Um,
and endurance. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And so what do you suggest for people nutrition wise who lose their appetite?
Have your favorite thing. Like rationally, you have to eat, right? To keep up your energy, you have to have food in your system, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I do the protein pudding because it's yummy. I'm going to eat it. It's easy to eat. I don't have to chew it. I can just kind of roll it around and swallow. I find if I have to cook something and if I'm tired, you're exhausted, you don't want to cook. Same with endurance. If you've done a 20-mile day with a 30-pound pack, you probably don't feel like cooking. But if you can eat something that simple,
Yeah.
I think we talked about the fuel or the frog
Yeah. The
of the
frugals.
gels. Just whatever you can do nutritionally to help you. You might not feel like eating mac and cheese or, I don't know, biscuits and gravy, whatever it is that you got with you.
Just the idea of eating just makes me feel more nauseous. One of the things that we had talked about when I was on the episode one was that I found out that because outside of backpacking, I tend to be low carb and try and
Uh-huh.
control my carbs, and protein's my priority. But on the trail, is it carbs? Yeah, it's like pure carbs. Are you going to eat it? Yeah, it's gummy bears. Okay, then eat it. So if I eat it throughout the whole hike, when I get to camp, my blood sugar levels are higher and I'm more willing to eat. So I
Ah,
think the nauseousness I'm feeling isn't because I don't want to eat. I think it's because my blood sugars are low.
oh, so trying to keep up that energy with the sugar,
Yeah.
with the gummy bears. Yeah. Yeah,
On a regular
definitely.
backpacking trip that's not an endurance type of trip, I don't
Uh-huh.
really struggle with the appetite. It's the endurance.
I do love, so early in the trip, I really love the ramen bombs. I would never eat that.
It sounds horrible, doesn't it?
I would never eat that. at the house. Like, let's make a ramen bomb for dinner. Is no way. But when I'm on the trail, it's, oh yeah, I got to take the potatoes. I want to take the ramen noodles. And then I throw in like a pack, depending on how many I'm feeding, whether it's just me or me and my husband, some of those packets of the chicken in the foil packets. I'll have a
Mhm.
couple of those and then we'll
Okay,
put that in there. Yeah.
that's a
Ramen
ramen
bomb.
bomb.
That's one of my favorites. Have you ever had a ramen bomb?
I haven't. I'm such a
No.
picky eater. The idea of potatoes and ramen just sounds horrible together.
Do you like ramen noodles?
I love ramen noodles and I love potato chips and I love mashed potatoes, but for some reason, when you put them all together, did I mention I'm a picky eater?
You did
But I figure
now.
if you're hungry enough,
Yeah. So the thing with adding the instant mashed potatoes to the ramen is you're just thickening up the broth a little bit. And
Mm.
so you can make it as thick as you want.
Oh, so the stuff I've always seen has been dense. It's like more like
Okay.
mashed potatoes with noodles in it.
Yes, yes. So you can make it very dense like that
Man.
if you want, but you can add as much as you want. So just to think of it like you're thickening up the broth a little bit.
So you want to know how frustrating I am with my pickiness?
What?
So it makes no sense because if you put some mashed potatoes in with ramen noodles, it sounds terrible. But if you put potato chips in there and let them rehydrate, all of a sudden that sounds great. Like some Pringles. Why does that sound fine? But it's the same thing. It's flavored potatoes.
That's so funny.
My poor mom raising me and trying to feed me.
I would never think of putting, but now I want to try it. And that kind of food is just safe for hiking. Just
Yeah.
because you need the
Now I kind of
calorie,
want
you
it
need
too.
the calories. Gosh, you're
Yeah.
probably burning 2,000 calories hiking for the day,
Oh,
if
yeah.
more than that.
Yeah,
So,
probably more than that.
yeah, so
So,
you got to
especially if
eat.
you've just resupplied and
Oh
your pack's
gosh.
heavy.
Yeah. Thank
Um,
goodness that you ate the pizza that I carried into you.
oh, that was not hard at all. But I was thinking about it that the other day I came up in my head, I said something about that at work we're all about our pocket knives, even though we're not allowed to have them. They think we're like children. But we were all like, oh, I got this knife. I've had this knife for 10 years. Oh, was that the commemorative one? And we're all really into our knives. And I was like, you should see the knife I carry backpacking.
Oh,
And they're like, oh, is it a really cool one? And I was like, no, it's like this big.
oh, that
It's
one.
literally a
Yeah, that's
folding
right.
razor blade. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, it weighed 5 grams. It's great. And they're like, well, how are you going to do anything with that? I'm like, dude, all I ever use it for is cutting string and opening packages. And then I was like, wait, but we did cut a pizza with it.
Yes, we did.
So
Yeah.
it popped into my head the other night when we were talking about that. And I was like, I remember us with that little bitty knife cutting the pizza. And it cut it really good. It cut all the way through the cardboard too.
It did. It did. And that
My
girl, so
husband got me that.
I watched that girl cut that pizza, right? And it was like she did the lightest, like all she did was dent the cheese. That's what she did. She dented the cheese, and it's like that was all she did with that pizza. So thank goodness you had that itty bitty
And I'm like,
little
I have a knife.
five gram knife
Itty.
to cut the pizza. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
my husband got me that. People like we were talking about how when people like that night we were over pizza after my little knife thing, that you have people was like, oh, you backpack, and they'll get you these gifts that they feel like, I don't know if they think we're in bushcraft or something. Look at us, these big giant knives that have the little striker thing for starting a fire inside and all this other stuff. It's got paracord wrapped around the handle because you're probably gonna need paracord for, I don't know, parachuting while you're backpacking. I don't know. But then
You need
my
it for a
husband,
shoelace. That's why you need it, because your
yes.
shoelace is going to break.
So to have, okay, we've got, my husband is so understanding that he got me that little knife for
That
my
is,
birthday. I was like, oh my God, it's so cool. Of course, I just run over to my scale to weigh it. I'm like, it's 3 grams.
that's a
So,
man who understands and has been listening and paying attention.
yes, he does. And
Yeah.
luckily, he backpacks also,
Does
but
he?
just not the kind of stuff that I do. So, as a condition of marriage, that at least once a year he goes backpacking with me.
Oh, nice. Good.
So let's see. Okay, so that night when we were sitting there by the campfire eating pizza that we cut with my itty bitty knife, we were talking about what you do as a professional,
Ah,
because you do have a working job and that you are a physical trainer.
I'm a personal trainer. Yes, ma'am.
And who are your favorite clients to work with?
People have a goal, people who have goals that they're working towards, right? Sort of, for example, one of the ladies that I work with, she travels a lot. And she was talking about taking some homemade goods to her daughter who lives in California. In order to take these goods to her daughter, she has to carry them in a cooler in carry-on, right? And
Mm.
there's no, it's not on wheels, right? And so she was just very proud of herself that she was able to carry it and put it into the overhead bin. And this, the lady, she's in her 70s, right? And so
Mhm.
she was just very proud that she was able to carry this and put it up. And she was a little bit out of breath doing it, but it wasn't as terrible as what she envisioned it was going to be.
What is it that made you decide that you wanted to primarily work with personal training elderly?
See, and so you call it elderly, but I'm almost 60. And
Oh,
so
you're elderly too. Okay.
I would be considered
I'm kidding.
almost soon I will be elderly. But a lot of my clients, they're only 5 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have one client who's in her 90s, and then but the rest of them are really in their early 70s and they're fit and they're active and they could go climb Kilimanjaro if they wanted to.
Have any of
And
them gone yet?
not yet, not yet, but
Are you
soon.
working on it?
Soon, working on it, working on it. I'm working on some adventurous, not necessarily Kilimanjaro trips for them. So one of them is
Okay.
Costa Rica, talking about doing Costa Rica, maybe some river rafting, some cycling, and some hiking, which would be
Wow.
amazing. That'd be a lot of fun. And yeah, and going to go see the butterflies again too. And that
Okay.
would be,
Yes.
yeah, over in Mexico, not far from Mexico City. So going to go see the wintering habitat of the monarch butterfly. So very nature related, but you also have to have some physical ability to be able to get there and do it. So active adventures. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So of all your clients, who's the one that just, do you have a story that of a certain one of your clients that just is just so inspiring
Oh
that
gosh.
to basically to get past whatever adversity or physical challenges they had or didn't think they could do and just really prove themselves to be just inspiring.
Inspiring and capable. I think everybody has their story, right? Everybody has their story and everybody has their own levels of capability. And I think just coming to class, especially some of the people I work with, they're bionic women. They have hip
Yeah.
replacements, knee replacements, shoulder replacements. Some of them have scoliosis. Some of them have back surgeries. Having those issues, like those challenges, and then still pushing to work through and figuring it out. Like, I want to do this. What do I have to do to figure it out? Is it within, if I rub my dream against reality, is it something that is still possible? And
Mhm.
just loving hearing stories like that of pushing through and still continuing to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why that kind of brings me to me. It's, I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring for me, right? So my goal is to live to the fullest today and then don't put off those things that I want to do. If I want to go back
Yeah.
to Kilimanjaro and do it again, I'm not going to wait another 30 years because in 30 years I'm going to be what, 90. I got to do it sooner than that, right?
Have you ever thought of doing the Inca Trail?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to be sending out a survey soon, seeing if anybody wants to come and do the Inca Trail with me. So, yeah, that is on the radar. How about you? You want to
That
do the
might,
Inca Trail?
oh, I've already done it.
Have you already done it?
Yes, I've already done it. My husband and I did it. You got to go do it.
Yeah.
And
Why is
I
that?
highly recommend Llama Path.
Llama Path.
Yeah, because it's similar to Kilimanjaro where you have to have a guide.
Okay.
You can't just go on your own. But I did a lot of research before we went and we picked them because they treat their porters the best.
Oh, nice. Okay. Good to
So
know. Yeah.
yeah, but we did the 4 day to Machu Picchu.
Oh, okay.
So it was super cool. So once we got there, you start hiking, and it sounds like it's pretty similar to Kilimanjaro, where like when you get there, they've already got lunch set up and everything, and then you eat, and then you start going later on. They pass you with all the stuff.
Yes.
So similar to that. But once we got up to there, we got to over this hill where we had this overview of Machu Picchu. And then we went and camped by the Ollantaytambo River. And then the next morning we got on a bus and we went back up to Machu Picchu on a bus, and we got to walk past all the people who were in line waiting for it to open, and we got to go in before they actually opened the gates to the public. And we went to the Temple of the Sun and we watched the sunrise from there. And then we got our own little private tour all around the place, and then the gates opened and all the tourists started coming, and before you knew it, you could hardly move around.
Really?
So
Wow.
you get a special view of Machu Picchu without all the crowds.
That's excellent. Love
Gotta
it.
go do it.
Yay. Very cool. So where is your favorite hike? I know your home trail is the Ouachita Trail.
Yeah.
And so if you would recommend one hike to anybody, I know this is hard to do because all the hikes are my favorite hikes, but if you
It's
had
not
to
really
pick a
hard to
hike,
do.
what's that?
Grand Canyon rim to rim.
Oh, yeah. Now, did you do rim to rim in one shot or did you camp at the bottom or
Oh, we
somewhere?
camp.
Did
So
you?
it's there's a little story behind it. When we were kids, we backpacked. We went down the South Kaibab Trail and up Bright Angel Trail.
Yeah.
And while we were down there camping at Bright Angel, there was some other person was talking about, yeah, they were going from one side to the other. They had come down the North Kaibab. And I'm like, there's a North Kaibab? And I'm just a teenager at the time. And oh yeah, so that was like a thing. I'm like, dude, someday I'm going to do this. And because my parents had taken us backpacking there. So I
Nice.
was like, so later on, I became an adult. I put the hike together and I got to take my mom backpacking there.
Oh, very cool.
So,
So your parents were both backpackers?
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started backpacking as a teenager.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yeah, that's cool. My parents, we grew up hunting and fishing. Well,
oh,
more fishing. My parents would hunt, but it was really more camping and fishing is what they took the kids to do. And they were small business owners, and so the amount of time that they had was usually a weekend or an overnight.
yeah,
Yeah. And that's,
that's cool. So you were
yeah,
raised in the outdoors and you're from Canada, correct?
yeah, yeah.
I catch your boots sometimes.
About, yes.
So that's cool. So you were raised with going out in nature and doing nature stuff. So it just makes sense that you would stick with carrying that throughout your life.
For sure. And it was interesting. It was because of one of my dad's comments that I got into the Texas Master Naturalist program because he came down to visit and he had questions about some of the trees, right? He was saying, "What's this tree and why is this one like this?" And I was like, "I have no idea." He says, "I can't believe that you live here and you don't know anything about the trees." And it's, "Oh, I guess I better fix that."
So in typical fashion, you said, I'm not just going to go learn about a couple things. I'm going to go find out what trees taste like broccoli.
Yes, exactly. Which ones can we eat?
So are you pretty good on which ones you can eat?
I use an app for a lot of it. I use what is it? Seek,
Okay.
SEEK. So Seek, and it will identify different plants for you, and then it'll tell you whether it's edible or not edible or whatever.
Okay.
The typically, I'm going to say most things are not edible, but there are a lot of
I think a
edibles
lot of
out
things are
there.
edible at least once.
Yes, yes. Just be cautious. But it is fun. It is fun to find the different things that are here, just learning about all the different plants they're just so unique and different from what I grew up with.
Yeah.
And it's, just a lot of fun learning about the different things that are in the area.
That's so cool. Okay. So we were talking about beginners and beginner backpackers and taking them out. And I'm sure you do yours similar to the way I do my beginner groups, is a pack shakedown
Oh, goodness.
where
Yes.
they go. So some of the things that we pull out of these people's packs, and you have to just, okay, so that's a microwave meal. Um, how are you intending to cook this out there? Oh, I guess I could just throw it in a pot and cook it. I'm like, "No, doesn't work like that." Oh, but you see all these different things that come in their packs. What is the thing that is so unnecessary that you repeatedly see beginners have in their packs
Oh,
that you
gosh.
take out that you're like, nope,
Probably a book.
a book?
A book. I don't know. Or for women, it's your makeup.
I do see that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, just too much makeup. I'll put,
Mm.
so I wear a tinted moisturizer that's a sunscreen. And
Okay.
so instead of taking the whole bottle, I'll just put it into a little jewelry bag Ziploc or whatever, rather than taking the whole bottle. I try to condense stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I would say makeup sometime or moisturizers. Another one, so one time at Kilimanjaro, they had a fear about cleanliness. I talk about packing your fears, right?
Mhm.
And so this one lady, she brought, I think, 10 packs, big packs of wet wipes. And then she's way overweight for what the porters can carry. And it's okay, you're not, no. You need maybe two of those a day. Do the
Yeah.
math. Look at the count. You only,
What's the most outlandish thing you've pulled out of a pack
the most outlandish thing I've pulled out of a pack?
that a
Gosh,
beginner brought?
I can't think of anything. What about you?
A sun shower.
Like
Have you seen them?
one of those black ones?
Yeah, it's something like a black bag and you fill it with water and then you hang it from something and then the sun heats it up. You get
They're
under it and take a shower.
they're concerned about cleanliness. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're
So like
very, those
similar
are
to the
very
wet
heavy.
wipes. Yeah. Gosh, I no, don't carry that in your backpack.
I
Yeah.
think the most common thing that I pull out of people's packs is those old Boy Scout mess kits. You know, when
Oh,
it's got the
like
little thing that comes on the top that holds it all together, you pull it's like a bowl and a plate and this little
yeah,
handle that goes onto it.
gotcha.
One of those. I
Yeah,
keep seeing those a lot.
do ya? I'm trying to think of the one of the very first backpacking trips I did. This one lady showed up, and we weren't packing in far because I was also new to backpacking. We were only doing, I think it was like maybe a 2 mile hike in. And gosh, she had a cooler bag on one shoulder. Bless her heart. I hope she's not listening. She had a cooler bag on one shoulder with her sandwich wrapped up in 25 layers of tinfoil. And and then a chair on another shoulder, like one of those campsite chairs, right? On
Yeah.
another shoulder. And then somewhere in there was her backpack. And it was like, okay, are you sure about this? Because I don't think you really need to carry all that in. Oh no, I can do it. I tested it. I can do this. It's like, and then we're trying to go around through creeks and around trees and stuff. Yeah, it was very cumbersome. Yeah,
We had one that now I have another leader. So we have one as lead and one
good.
as sweep. So there's one girl, her pack was so heavy. And then when we got there, as much stuff, she said, "Oh, I need those things. I need those things." So then we're like, okay, we're going to challenge you to not use them. So you can see that you can do just fine without using those. And we said, and if you do that and don't use those items, we have a special surprise for you at the end. And she's okay, so she did good. And there was all kinds of stuff she swore she needed and she didn't use at all. So her surprise at the end was we said, okay, we're going to lay all your stuff on the ground And she's okay, like in the dirt. Yeah, she's I got a tarp. Well, so she pulls one of those big blue tarps out of her
Out of her
thing and
backpack? Oh
lays
my
it out.
gosh.
And then the other leader and I are like, oh, we're regretting the special surprise. But so she lays all of her stuff out. We're like, okay, what have you used on this trip? And then she's like, stuff like this. Okay. So first aid kit, you didn't need it, but you need to always have it. So we put that, we started making this pile of stuff that you need and the stuff that you don't need. And she proved it by not using those things. So we said, since you did what we asked, we're doing a special surprise. So everything was in that didn't used, including the tarp the other leader and I carried out so she could get to feel what it was like to hike out of there. And it was an uphill
Yikes.
hike too, without all that crap in her backpack. And she's, oh, this is amazing. And the other leader and I are like, we're never doing this again. This was a bad idea.
You should have did it at a point where you could have hit it and then picked it up later.
Yeah, we never imagined that someone would have had that much stuff in their pack because there was stuff we were pulling out of her pack that was not in there during the shakedown.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch that. So we were warned with the kids for the hike that's coming up in a couple of weeks here that we're gonna do that shakedown, but we're gonna take those packs and we have to put them into a locked room because kids have been known to shove extra things in their packs that they
Their
think they're gonna
iPad they
need.
can't live without.
Yeah, we're taking their electronics, but yes, there could be, like you said, an iPad or something that we're not aware of, or a heavy book or makeup or whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
I can't wait. I'm excited to hear how that goes.
Yeah. I'm excited to find out how that goes.
Okay. What is the funniest thing that's ever happened to you on the trail?
Oh gosh, falling. Falling is always funny. I don't know why, but falling without injury is always funny.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
that's a good way to put it.
yeah, falling without injury. So what happened was I was with the Lone Star Hiking Trail Club and we weren't on the trail. So when some of the more experienced people from the Lone Star Hiking Trail Club put together some of these hikes, they want to take us someplace special on the trail. So we'll start at a trailhead, but then we'll end up circling around through the forest somewhere, almost not knowing where we are, but they know where we are. And so just navigating through different things. And one of the things we had to navigate through was a bunch of trees were down. And going through and trying to get around where these trees were down, one of the trees decided to hang on to my back foot, right? So
Oh no.
I'm going through this bramble and the tree is hanging on to me and I end up falling forward and catching myself on my hands and knees. The momentum of me falling, because it was this kind of motion, like a rolling, kind of a little
Uh,
bit of a roll motion. My backpack had the momentum, it
oh
carried
no.
me into a full somersault. And so it's like, and I couldn't stop it. I was there on my hands and knees, but my backpack was going and it just flipped me around. So that was
Oh
fun.
my God. So you fall, you're like, I'm good, I'm good. Oh, I'm
I'm
not
good.
good.
And
I'm
then
not
as
good. I'm not
phew, my
good.
backpack took me for a ride. Yeah.
And how many people saw it happen?
Just my husband, and he said, I wish I had my GoPro going. But
The
yeah,
worst is when that kind of stuff happens in front of a bunch of people.
it happens. Yeah. And it happens to the best of us. And that's okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That's okay.
I think all of my funniest stories all unsurprisingly involve a raccoon.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
They're
Was a raccoon
hilarious.
stealing your food,
Oh yeah.
swinging from a tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one run off with my inReach once.
Oh no. He
Yeah.
liked the color.
I guess so. It's shiny.
Yeah.
So there's another one that so it was back when I was tenting and I had my vestibule closed and I always put my cup and stuff out there so I can make my coffee in the morning from my tent because I don't put sugar or creamer or anything in my coffee. Drink it black like my soul.
Huh.
But they would, so I put that in there and then I wake up to rattling sound in my vestibule. I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, can I wake me up? And I sat listening. And I heard it again. I'm like, what the heck? So I got my headlamp, I lit up my vestibule where the noise is coming from, and there was this little raccoon hand that slid under my vestibule and had my cup and was starting to pull back. And then I'm like, hey, as soon as I shine a light, it just set the cup down and slow motion pulled its hand back.
That's funny.
Then another one, I was sleeping in my tent and it was pretty hot out. And of course, all these are on Eagle Rock Loop. The raccoons on Eagle Rock Loop are just ridiculous.
Really? I
So,
didn't have
oh,
any issues with them.
oh yeah. So all of
Yeah.
these happened on Eagle Rock Loop, but they had
I love that loop, by the way.
yeah, me too. It's so
So
great. It's
nice.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's another one. I was sitting there and I heard, so I had my vestibules all rolled back, so it was just net. And then I heard something and I look over and I got my headlamp and I put it up against the mesh so it doesn't just reflect the mesh back at you. And it lights up this raccoon and he just stopped and he's staring at me. I'm like, get out of here. He goes, and I'm like, get out of here. He's like, go. And he took off. So
That's so funny.
they are hilarious, but man, they are ruthless. There were some guys there we had come across. We were hiking out and they had just started their hike. I guess when they hung their bear bag, it was above a tree limb.
No,
So the raccoons had got up there and they tore out the bottom of their food bag. So all the
sure.
food fell out of the bag onto the ground like a piñata.
Yep.
And they just ate all the guy's food and stole it all. So
Oh, that stinks.
everything except for a package of mashed potatoes.
Yeah, it's not really food, is it?
Yeah. But we were finishing, so we gave them any extra food we had, and they said it was enough to get them through for their second day.
That's good.
Worked
That's
out, but
yeah.
yeah, raccoons on that loop are just ruthless. It's a
Wow.
very overused trail,
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
so the
The
wildlife knows it.
so what's your craziest animal encounter?
Up in the middle of the night, doing
With
a
this
little, I don't know where to go.
We were,
How
so my
about you?
husband and I, we were camping, car camping, shelter camping, whatever, at Tyler State Park. And the raccoons there are pretty relentless too. And we were cooking dinner and they were coming over while we were cooking dinner.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's like, this is not for you. You guys need to just back away.
We were at the Shores Lake campground once, and there was these people. It was a car campground. We had hiked into it, and we were staying there. And of course, it's car campground, so everybody's regular car camping. And then they had this, so they had this dog in a kennel in the back of the truck, and the dog's barking, bark, bark.
Aw,
And we're like, wow, Lakes, we got to hike the next morning.
yeah.
So finally, we wake up, and my husband's, you got to come see this. So I crawl out of the tent. I look up, and there's these raccoons. They had opened up the ice chest and the totes that were sitting on the picnic table. And they, right as I came out of the tent, he lit it up, and there was this raccoon climbing up the tree with, I beep you not, had an entire loaf of bread in a bag and took it up the tree. So we just sat there and we all just sat there and just said the dog just barked away, and those raccoons one at a time, one was holding the lid while the other ones were coming in and getting, they're running
That's
all their
so
people stuff
funny.
up to the tree, and we just sat back there and watched. Yep, you come to check out your dog and make him quit barking, you'd understand that all your food's being stolen. We just let him take it.
That's
Yeah,
funny. I love it. Yeah, those raccoons, they're pretty crafty. Yeah.
they are. Okay, you want to do rapid fire questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, some of these are the ones you gave me, and some
Okay.
are the ones that you give me when I came on the show, and some of these are my own.
Okay.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset hikes?
Oh gosh, I love it. Gosh, that's so hard to pick. I love sunrise because that's like my quiet time. I love to just watch the sun come up and I have my cup of coffee and I just relax and enjoy the beauty of it. And then I love sunsets too. Gosh, sunrise hikes. All right, sunrise
Okay.
hikes. All right.
Okay. Favorite piece of gear?
Favorite piece of gear. My Just Hyke trail mate.
Good answer. Okay. Best foot care tip.
Oh, carry moleskin. But if you're talking preventative, trim your nails at least 2 weeks before your hike. Don't do it
Okay.
the day of your hike.
Moleskin or Leukotape.
I don't think I've ever used Leukotape. But I like moleskin.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sour Patch Kids or Nerds gummies.
Sour Patch.
Favorite trail.
Oh gosh, I gotta say the Lone Star Hiking Trail. That just because it's
Awesome.
close to home, right? I love trails that are close to home. I don't like saying a favorite trail that's somewhere else in the world that you never get to go
Mhm.
visit. So I
Yeah.
always like to say my favorite trail is the one that I get to visit often.
Good. Boots or trail runners.
Depends on terrain. Mostly
Okay.
trail runners, but if I'm going up to the Ouachita, I'll probably put on boots. And Kilimanjaro, I'll put on boots after a certain altitude. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Favorite backpacking dinner.
It would be like quesadillas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're definitely going rapid fire on these because my phone just gave me the low battery notice.
Okay, we gotta go. Go.
Okay. This actually ended up being truly legit rapid fire. Okay. Name brand gear or cottage small business gear.
Oh gosh. Cottage small business. Gotta support small.
And they make some of the lightest weight stuff too.
Yeah. Trekker Joe's. Have you heard of Trekker Joe's?
Yes.
They
Yeah, a
yeah,
buddy
so
of
I have
mine is friends with him.
Oh, good, good. So I have one of their little wallets and I use that for every day. And then I also have a water bottle pouch because I love having my water bottle right here. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried that pouch. It didn't work out for me because I'm so short. My torso is so small. The cap is up here.
Oh
I gotta look at
no.
it. Okay. Solo or buddy hiking?
Buddy hiking.
Same here.
Yeah.
Everything's more fun with a friend.
All right. That wraps up the show. We just lost Kerry. Well, that's where our conversation came to an unexpected end. Kerry's phone battery had other plans for us. Kerry, thank you for taking over the microphone and turning the tables on me today. We covered everything from snake safety and solo hiking to trail leadership, Kilimanjaro, backpacking, and the confidence that comes from spending time outdoors. I hope you enjoyed this different style of episode and getting a chance to learn more about me and the journey behind Just Hyke. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a friend who loves hiking, backpacking, or simply spending time outdoors. Until next time, remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is part of your journey from sidewalk to summit. Happy trails. Bye, guys.